Good evening, I'm Vincent Makori. This is Africa 54. Nigerian police officials concerned over security for Saturday's governorship and state assembly elections have dispatched senior police units and officers to oversee election zones in states that could be vulnerable to violence. In the capital, Lagos, many people say the past 16 years have seen marked improvements to the quality of life in the city. But some say little has changed. Stein has more from Lagos.
Here's what you get if you're the governor of Lagos State. You get people, millions of them, spread through so many glitzy estates and unplanned neighborhoods that no one knows exactly how many there are. You get a city with towering high-rises and slums built on garbage. And you get to manage what is by itself one of Africa's largest economies, says Tunji Lardner, executive director of the West African NGO Network and a lifelong Lagosian.
If Lagos was a country, it would be the 5th largest country in Africa. It also means that Lagos is, by certain estimates, responsible for perhaps 40–50% of national GDP. It also means, ironically, that some of the wealthiest people in Africa and in Lagos, as well as some of the poorest people in Africa.
Nigeria's political scene was upended late last month when President Goodluck Jonathan lost the national election to Muhammadu Buhari of the opposition All Progressives Congress. It was the first loss by an incumbent president since Nigeria returned to democracy in 1999. Mr. Jonathan's People's Democratic Party is hoping to maintain influence with a win by Jimmy Agbaje, its candidate in the Lagos state governor's race. Mr. Buhari's party is hoping to further consolidate its power by getting candidate Akinwumi Ambode elected. Whoever wins has big shoes to fill. Lardner credits the state's 2 most recent governors with cleaning up the streets and building up a tax revenue base that's the best among Nigeria's 36 states. Khadija Sani has benefited from that leadership. She spent most of her life living in Oshodi, home to a popular market and bus station where she sells beverages wholesale. The Oshodi she knew growing up was chaotic and unregulated, but no longer.
Then when we were in primary school in Oshodi, everybody selling, no control, they just do things the way they like, smoking, all these things, selling in railways, those things. But thank God, there are many differences in Oshodi now.
Not all parts of Lagos have benefited equally. In the Ajigunle neighborhood, people filled in swampland with trash to build ramshackle houses. Tolu Lope Sengosanya runs a resource center for local children. When a fire broke out recently, she says firefighters didn't show up. That's just one way the powers that be have neglected the neighborhood, she says.
We do something and we don't trickle it down to the grassroots. How does this? You fix the main road, you do not fix the inner streets.
It's not just Lagos that's voting on Saturday. Contests for governorships will take place in most of Nigeria's 36 states. Stein for VOA News, Lagos.
Now, for more insight on Saturday's gubernatorial and state house assembly elections, joining us on the phone is Cynthia Areh from our partner channels TV in Lagos. Hello, Cynthia. Now, Lagos is indeed the biggest city in Africa. Tell us, what is likely to change from what you hear, people are telling you in the upcoming elections?
Well, Vincent, it's going to be a head-to-head. I can let you know that for sure. I think we're going to see a repetition of what we did on March the 28th. It was a close call, but obviously, we saw the APC that had over 700,000 votes, and the PDP had over 600,000. So that was head-to-head, and I believe we're going to see a repetition tomorrow because, based on the fact that Muhammadu Buhari has won the presidency, the presidential seat, he's urging Nigerians to vote for APC. And particularly in Lagos, people are keen on also voting for the APC because of the good work which the current outgoing governor has done. So they want to see a continuity, if you may. But at the same time, people are also keen on what PDP might have to offer if it occupies the governorship seat. So you've got people who are looking for change and people who are comfortable with where they are right now. So I believe we're going to see a head-to-head tomorrow. But I can let you know one thing for sure. Excitement is in the air. People are ready to vote tomorrow.
Yes. Now,
that's definitely what's going on in Lagos.
Yes. Now, we know that it's always like a very scary time, elections in Lagos, but generally the presidential elections went well. Are people overly concerned about the prospect of violence during these elections?
The concern was actually before the presidential elections. In reality, a lot of Nigerians were preparing as if they were going to experience a war because they did not know what was going to happen. But it went it was relatively peaceful. It was better than we anticipated. Yeah. And, following the call which the outgoing president made to the incoming president, that was also a very good move, which doused tension in case people wanted to use that as an opportunity to go and start post-election violence. So what we've seen is really impressive. And honestly, the fear existed right before the presidential elections. But right now, people are feeling really confident. The IG of police has said that the forces are standing by in order to ensure that everything goes hitch and violence-free for tomorrow. So people feel relatively safe. Their worries were initially about what happened with the card readers not working, but INEC seems to have been able to tackle that matter, and everybody's keen on using the permanent voter cards tomorrow.
We hope they put their
votes
Cynthia,
counted.
Thank you. We hope they put everything together and all goes well in Lagos. Cynthia, thank you very much. Cynthia Areh from our partner channels TV in Lagos, Nigeria.